Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, evening, everyone.
Hey, happy
Betty.
sunset. Hey.
Happy Sunset Rants. Everyone, welcome to Rise of Middle American Network. It's Sunset Rants on the network. On Monday, I'm one of the, Elizabeth and I are a couple of executive producers around here, and normally I'm behind the scenes, writing outlines, trying to find stories for everyone else to talk about on Monday nights. I get to talk about some stuff along with Miss Elizabeth.
Yes, and I love to have you, man. Happy sunset, everybody. Happy Monday. You made it through the day. Now we just got the rest of the week to get through. Just a little reminder for you folks. We have a Discord that's open to the public currently. So if you think you have what it takes to be a researcher, producer, creator, links are below. And they're also in our website. We at Roman Nation Network believe that everyone should have the ability to spread their word in this post-cancel culture society. And this is our beautiful website, riseofmiddleamerica.com. Sunset Rants is part of the Roman Nation Network. Our website includes news, rants, and deep dives, as well as breaking news stories that you don't want to miss. So down at the bottom there is a link if you want to make a monetary contribution, if you want to help us continue to bring you the viewers the most up-to-date content, you can do that there. And come join the Discord because we have a great community that we're building here.
Thank you so much for laying that out for us, Elizabeth. We got a lot of stuff to go over tonight, but the first thing we're going to go over is I get my screen situated over here.
Yeah, a lot of news has been happening lately.
Exit full screen. We got a lot of news happening today, and the biggest story of the day, or what I consider the biggest story of the day, is we got a verdict in the Daniel Penny trial.
Yes,
and he was acquitted on he was acquitted on all counts.
That's right.
This is a lead story from ABC News. Now, I could go through and give you all the summary, but I think everyone knows what happened. We had this crazy guy, this Neely guy, on the subway, threatening people, announcing that he didn't care if he ended his life. He didn't care if he went back to jail. Mm-hmm. Neely, a former active duty United States Marine, still a Marine, because Marines are always Marines, acted and subdued him, calmed him down. The man was alive when first responders responded.
Yes.
But Daniel Perry treated Neely with more respect and more dignity than the first responders that showed up that could have saved the man's life, because the man was already in medical distress.
Right. Right. I heard that they delayed on giving him CPR because of maybe there was like some kind of odor or something, or they were worried that he might have some kind of disease or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
The ins and outs of that, but
the bottom line, the jury got it right. He's free.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this shit. I'm sorry. I'm probably cussing too early in the stream. But look at this crap take headline right here. I miss my son, Jordan Neely's father. DA reacted to Daniel Penny verdict.
Right.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It seems to me like this is how they tweeted it or X'd it or whatever you call it.
Top charge of second-degree manslaughter after the jury said it was deadlocked on that count. Prosecutors claimed Penny held Neely for too long, causing his death in a chokehold, while the defense argued Penny acted in self-defense. We have breaking news. A jury has found Daniel Penny not guilty.
Okay, that just loops back over, and you see, I can't believe that the BLM's planning like protests over this crap.
Yeah,
riots.
They've been out already. Oh, I'm sorry, love. No, I'm just they've been out already. They've been out kind of. I think that they kind of felt that this was going to happen, especially after the first count was dismissed. And they were kind of getting their rally troops together, because they do jump on cases like this when it involves a black man and a black person and a white person. Oddly enough, there was a young girl. I forget her name, but I saw a story where she was mowed down by an illegal migrant, a young black girl, and she lost her life. There was no protest about that. There was no talk about that. Also, there is something to be said, and I think Roma, Tay, and Dee brought this up on the Thursday Sunset Rants, that mental health crisis is really big in this country right now, especially in New York City. And they are coming out to protest about that, how we need more resources, how people are getting put in jail and there's no real rehabilitation program set up, to wean them back into society. They're just like become repeat offenders without getting any type of real help. And so there's that. There's also another case that happened a while back. I was telling you about this earlier, Brian, the Jordan Williams case that happened around the same time that this happened. And this was a strap hanger situation where Jordan Williams felt threatened. He was, being attacked by a homeless man,
right.
and he stabbed him to death. And first of all, he didn't get any bail put on his case. It was zero bail for Penny. It was $200,000 right off the rip. And he got the charges were thrown out entirely. So if you're going to say one race over the other, what happened here? And the defense attorney said under New York law, in that case, in the Jordan Williams case, under New York law, a person is justified in using deadly physical force when they reasonably believe it necessary to use such force to defend themselves or others from imminent use of deadly or unlawful physical force. So if you're going to argue that, and that's going to be in and out of the court arguments, while this is all going on with the Penny case, why wasn't that thought of in the same city? In the same
city,
in the same courts.
But what? It's just different priorities. You've got these. I'm sorry, George Soros DEI hires that their idea of pursuit of justice is pursuit of social justice. Not actually following the law, which provides real justice, not, putting your fingers on the scales. The scales are supposed to be even.
That's right.
Okay. And, and you have places in New York City, like where Daniel Penny, he is still being punished. He's been acquitted by the criminal courts, but he still faces a lawsuit from Neely's family, which, oh, by the way, I don't think they should have any freaking standing to bring in the first place.
They abandoned him. All of a sudden, now they care.
To the streets.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they freaking care?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
So you want to send Daniel Penny, you want to ruin Daniel Penny's life for standing up and doing the right thing and being a man? So that's what we want to do. We want to stamp out, doing the right thing, being a man, protecting the innocent. We want to stamp that out. You know what? And that's what every other news media outlet out there wants to do. There's only one true news media outlet who gets this story right, who got it right. And they are, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the most correct take. Selfless heroism now legalized in New York. Thank you, Babylon B.
Your favorite news source, man. I mean, they're slowly becoming
my most trusted news source.
Yeah, they're slowly becoming legit news source, because even though they do things tongue in cheek, they're really hitting it on the head a lot of the times with these articles. But you know what? I wanted to just bring back something that you mentioned earlier. Two things. One, you mentioned Soros, right? Soros funded DAs.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. We know that he funds the campaigns. We also know another thing, that he funds BLM. And who is raring to go as soon as the court system doesn't go the way that they want it to, even though the DA did everything possible to bring this case when it should have been thrown out off rip. The other thing I want to mention is the assistant Manhattan District Attorney Daphne Yoron, who was the prosecutor in the Penny case. She once sought reduced punishment for a Manhattan mugger who killed an 87-year-old over $300 a mugging at an ATM in 2019 under the concept of, quote, restorative justice. Okay? So if you're going to tell me that there's two sides and that people aren't getting justice because of the color of their skin, then we can have that conversation. I don't think you're going to like how the conversation unfolds, though.
You're not. I promise you, you're not.
Right.
But at least that's one pardon Trump won't have to write. And before you autists in the comments go start, I know it's a joke for the sake of transition. Deal with it. Speaking of transitions, Trump will most likely pardon Capitol rioters on day one, says January 6th committee members should also be jailed. Well, I think we've all been saying that for a while. I mean, he's just, we've been thinking it. He's just saying, isn't this what we elected him to do, Biddy? Is this not exactly what we expected him to do?
Promises made, promises kept. That's what he does, man.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
that's what people were asking for. And a lot of these people, whether or not they committed a crime on the day, how long have they been in jail? It's 2024. It's about to be 2025. They've been in jail for 4 years in the most distressful and terrible conditions. There was one guy, I looked him up, Ryan Samsel, who actually, he did push his way past the barricade, and one of the police officers, a female, fell backwards. She hit her head, so she had a concussion. So he was taken to prison, but he was allegedly beaten while in prison by the whatchamacallit, the gentlemen's, like, I'm forgetting what they're called now, the people that are in the prison, like the cops that are in there, the correction officers, there you go, to where he almost lost sight in one of his eyes. And, they have these things like closet cells where they're like, 4 inches wide or something like that. I'm probably exaggerating.
I mean, think of how many of these people's rights have been violated. The right to a speedy trial.
Mm-hmm.
A right to stand before a jury of their peers.
Right.
Protections from cruel and unusual punishment. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Right. And in my humble opinion, when it comes to anything that's going against the government or government officials, they get the book thrown at them. They get their rights, put on hold, all this other kind of stuff. But then you have people like we were just talking about with Neely. He was a repeat offender. He was in and out of, the system. He wasn't held. That happens all the time in these cities where they're just in and out. They're not held. They're, put right back out there in the street to do, and they're doing like crimes where they're really hurting people. And, but this, forget it. It's like, throw them in a hole, let them sit there for years.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
This article has some numbers. I want to go ahead and throw them at you.
Yes.
At least 1,572 defendants have been charged, and more than 1,251 have been convicted or pleaded guilty in the attack pled guilty under duress, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Of those, at least 645 dependents have been sentenced to incarceration ranging from a few days to 22 years in federal lockup. About 250 people are in custody, most of them serving sentences after having been convicted. A handful are being held in pretrial custody at the order of a federal judge. Pretrial custody for how long?
Right. I think
I mean, this
I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but how long is it supposed to be? I don't know if you know or if anybody in the chat knows, but like, how long are you supposed to be able to hold somebody? More than 48 hours without cause? Before you can get a pretrial custody? How long? I mean, again, it's been 4 years. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. But apparently he's gonna pardon all of them. Right. At first, he said that, he was going to, do it on a case by case basis. But I think after everything with Biden,
with Hunter, he's like, okay, seal's broken.
Yep. You want to play that game? Then we're going to do this.
Unless, open pardons it is. It's open season on pardons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready for among other things, though, that Trump's getting us, Trump and his transition team, because, he's got a whole team behind him, including a couple of guys named Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, who are heading up a thing called Doge.
Yes.
And now it's looking like the next thing Doge is going to go after is federal teleworkers.
Sorry, guys. I mean, listen, as a person who works from home, if that's going to be the precedent, if that's what's going to have to happen because of security and for different things but I mean, it's different because I work for a private company. I don't work for the federal government who gets paid by the taxpayers. So, but, if it had to be in solidarity with this whole movement, I would gladly go back to work just to, reduce the funding for the government and these federal employees who just throw the money in the fire.
So here's some of the highlights from this particular initiative. It aims to mandate a 5-day work week in person for all federal employees, with the expectation that many would resign or retire rather than comply.
Which is stupid. I mean, really? If you're going to do that, fine. But
Musk and Ramaswamy argue that in a Wall Street Journal op-ed that this would save the taxpayer money, suggesting that remote work is a COVID-era privilege that should not continue.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things, they overstep their expiration date. Like even Doge themselves, like they're practicing what they're preaching, right? They have an expiration date on Doge itself, which is July 4th, 2026. So, it's not like rules for thee and not for me, or whatever that thing. Another thing I would really like to see, and I hope that they can get to when we're talking about federal employees in Congress, I don't want to see where people are not showing up, or when it comes to voting, you can just say like, I don't want to vote, or whatever, like that. All of that stuff, it's like, you're supposed to be serving the people. We put you there so that way you can help vote in different things or vote no to certain bills and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on that's it's very sloppy. When they subpoena people to come forward in front of committees. Oh, I don't have that. I didn't bring that with me. Like, there's just so much chaos going on. I'm just like, can anybody come in here and fix this? Like, what is going on?
As I was going through this is like the most boo-hoo, cry me a river.
Oh my God. Let me know. What are you saying?
The policy could lead to significant life disruptions for federal workers, especially those who've moved away from Washington, D.C., potentially causing family separations. Again,
oh God,
boo-hoo, cry me a river. Oh, listen, so you had this great, 6-figure job at, Department of Labor that they figured out during COVID that you could actually phone it in. but you figured out that you could phone it in just as easy from from a very inexpensive cost of living place, much less expensive than Alexandria, Virginia. So you moved out of Alexandria, Virginia to a cheaper place, and now they're saying, "Oh, now you got to come back to work." Oh well.
Exactly.
Oh well.
Exactly. I mean, you're set. You should be set to a higher standard when you're a federally funded government employee. Like I don't see what the disconnect is, and that's the problem. When you give too much to people and they get too comfortable, then when somebody comes in and says, "Okay, the party's over. We got to get back to work now. You know, it's been 4 years, right? It's enough now." Then you want to whine and cry like a big baby. Like, listen, this is life. If you don't like working for the federal government, then get a job somewhere else at a private company. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess you can always apply to be an agricultural worker because apparently after Trump deports all the illegals, there'll be no one left to pick fruit.
Right. Yeah, so we should just keep people here in basically just a hop, skip, and a jump from slave labor, just so we can have $5.99 strawberries.
Cheap guacamole.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully, Doge will get some of that. We'll get a lot of that done. Get people back in the office. The people that need to be back in the office, doing the actual work the federal government needs done.
Mm-hmm.
Like keeping an eye on, potential international hotspots like Syria. Let me get on the right tab here.
Mm-mm.
And go ahead and pull this one up. Get rid of the ad before I pulled up. Get rid of the ad. Get rid of the ad. Okay, thank you very much. All right. So a lot of interesting stuff happened in Syria over the weekend. Let me give you a little 2-minute summary. Syrian insurgents have reached the suburbs of Damascus, part of a rapid offensive, capturing some of Syria's large cities. They actually control Damascus now. This information is a little bit dated. The rebels, led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, have taken control of Aleppo, Hama, Homs, has little resistance from Syrian forces. Now, there was some, if you were watching X this weekend, for the news and developments, as I was, there was a lot of noise there for about 8 hours. Assad had completely disappeared off the radar. They knew he had fled the capital. They knew he had got on an airplane. Flight trackers were tracking the airplane. The airplane dropped out of radar, and for about 8 or so hours, people were assuming that Assad was dead, shot down in the desert. Turned out probably what most likely happened is they dipped down under radar, turned off all their transponders, got back up to altitude, and made a beeline for Moscow, because that's where we're seeing Assad now, being given asylum by Putin in Moscow. Some of the images from, I don't know why it keeps bouncing back up like that, but
probably like
just some information.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Got any thoughts on this, Billy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know like a ton about this and foreign affairs and whatnot. I was just wondering something earlier that I mentioned about, I wonder how much money we've sent to Syria, and now that the the rebels that are there that might feel emboldened if they have access to those hundreds of millions of dollars sent there there was like some earthquake relief aid that was sent, like $100 million last year. And, so I just wonder, because it seems like every time we send money to like a foreign country, all of a sudden they have some kind of like faction that emerges, and they have all of these like brand new shiny weapons, and they seem to have all these resources. Well, so I wonder about that.
Have you seen that meme where you've got rockets coming in on one side and it says my money, and then you got rockets going up on the other side, somehow also my money?
That's right.
And that is exactly what is going on right now, because we have the Air Force doing airstrikes on behalf of the CIA on one side, and then we have, DOD troops on the ground on the other side. So, what the actual frick is going on here? Who's in charge? Who's running this? Oh, I know. It's okay, Biddy. It's okay. Because our current sitting commander chief has got it under control.
He's right on top of that, Rose.
He's right on top of it.
Another thing is, I know they're reinstating Sharia law, right? I heard that.
Oh, there's all kinds of bad. Yeah, they're rounding up Christians.
I seen that too. I seen some crazy video, which I don't know if it's a legit video, if it's an old video. I haven't looked into it, but I have seen some videos, and I heard some talk about it. Yeah.
This is coming from Post Millennial. Biden promises U.S. will do whatever it can to stabilize Syria after Assad regime has toppled. This announced after.
Yeah, whatever the as long as Biden gets 10%, yeah.
As long as the big guy gets 10%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the big guy, allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly. Breaking: Biden promises the U.S. will do whatever we can to stabilize Syria after Assad regime toppled. Oh man, nothing but good can come of this. President Biden addressed the nation on Sunday to discuss a regime change in Syria. Regime change. How many times have you heard that one?
Yes, I know.
He took credit for the decline in support from Iran, Russia, and Lebanese terror group Hezbollah for Syria's Assad regime, saying the reason they withdrew their support during the past week was because both nations were far weaker under the Biden administration. Oh, so you're going to take credit for all this mess?
Well, he's going to take credit now, and then as soon as it's going to be brewing, right into the Trump term, and then they can turn around and be like, "Oh, this is Trump's fault." Whatever goes down.
Let me check my notes on this one. Okay.
Why does he always look like he's looking into the sun? Whenever he's
So
get him some UV glasses or something. But
Biden promised to do everything possible to stabilize Syria. Highlighted the end of Assad's regime was a fundamental act of justice. It was? Okay. United States plans to provide humanitarian relief to help restore Syria after decades of war and Assad family brutality. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think any of this will make things better. I really don't.
I know. And I'm just thinking, I want it to. I don't want things to go bad just so I can be like, haha, you see, I told you, or whatever. I don't want things to escalate. I don't want people to hurt and not and lose their lives and lose their rights, and women not being allowed to go outside, and having all of this. I don't want this, but we've seen his foreign policy in action in the past.
I thought there was video there. My bad.
No, it's okay. And like you said, it doesn't sound like this is going to help anything. What are you going to help with? You're going to throw more money at them so that way these factions can steal it and use it for themselves? Or are we going to put boots on the ground? How are you supposed to be helping? What kind of help are you implying, sir?
Right.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, Trump has already indicated that he doesn't plan. He really wants United States minimal involvement in this, and I think that is the correct way forward.
Right. Me too. Because there's way too much. Again, I'm not a foreign policy expert. I'm not even a novice. I know very, very little. But I think when you go too much, when we interfere too much into these countries that have so much nuance going on, there's so many tentacles, there's so many things happening. First of all, we have our own freaking problems. We have a lot going on here that we need to help. North Carolina, maybe that might need some attention, and all these other places. But we can't just keep inserting ourselves in all these different places saying that we're trying to make the world safe for democracy. Like, that can't always be the damn thing. We have to pick and choose our battles and what we put in our energies into. It's just too much.
You're absolutely right. Now, astute viewers of the channel will probably notice that and Elizabeth and I are also aware that there's breaking news today in the CEO killer case. A person of interest has been apprehended and arraigned in Pennsylvania. This is a story that we are watching. It's a developing story, and Sunset Rants will cover the story as it develops on tomorrow's episode.
That's right.
So, that being said, we started a little activity we like to play around here. Biddy and I debuted this last week, and we are so proud to debut this.
Yes, I'm so happy it's back. This is
a little segment that I like to call Caption This.
Yes.
So we have tools at our disposal. Also, we look around for them to find AI images for you to caption, comment, describe. And we will highlight those comments here, live in real time. We'll pick some of the best ones at our Friday show, FAFO Fridays. They will get another shout out. So we're still working on, the reward concept. But anyway, this is to encourage chat participation. So let's have your comments, guys, and go.
Yes. And I think we got a T-Bone in the audience too, finally, for this. So I'm excited.
Yes. We have a very special guest with us in the audience, the man they call T-Bone.
I'm like, I gotta get better at this. I don't know.
Oh, this is a good one. We've already got one from TDS over on YouTube. The Grinch liberates Christmas for democracy.
Oh my gosh, Treebeard.
His body count grew 3 sizes that day.
That's good. Oh, that's great. Oh, T-Bone submitted one. It didn't come up in the chat, though.
When the Grinch steals more than just your presents for the Christmas tree.
He steals your life.
He steals your life. I can't see if all the YouTube chats aren't coming in. I can't see those. I just have the X chat up.
I'm trying to think of something.
Live photo of Tim Walsh during his deployment to Tiananmen Square from Aaron. And also, we want to credit Aaron for that puppy video that we cold opened with.
Yes. I think she told us earlier. She said, by the way, my puppy just knocked the doorstop off. She looked up at me like, I didn't mean to kill it, Mom. Puppy 1, doorstop 0.
Yep.
Yeah,
here we go.
Oh,
Roma figured it out.
Oh yeah. I think that's how we gonna have to do it, because sometimes it doesn't pop up in the StreamYard. It's weird.
Right. Yeah. We're here to make Christmas great again. What you heard. That's a good one, Biddy.
Thank you. Oh, looks like your student is talking some good what do you call
Only
it?
because
Gun safety.
only because he heard me talking smack about the trigger discipline on the photo earlier.
Yeah, he was listening. He's learning, man. What does it say? What great trigger discipline the man with a heart 3 times its size has is outrageously good. What's up? That's funny.
Alrighty.
Who said this with a pull? With a pull, a squeeze, and a tap this year, this came from Tree Bear. Okay, with a pull, a squeeze, and a tap this year, the Grinch. Oh man, this year the Grinch finally went snap. That's great. Yes, Dr. Seuss, very very clever. I love that.
Aaron strikes again.
I like had it in my head that she was brewing something. What when people talk about Brandon Herrera for ATM director. Oh my gosh. I have a feeling these this like pictures are gonna get crazier as we go too.
Yeah.
They usually do. We start off pretty mild.
You guys know what the prompt was that generated this image? Because I generated this image.
What? I mean, you told me earlier, but tell the audience.
I asked Grok to draw me as the Grinch.
That's so great. I can't believe like they put the and you said that this was a pretty good weapon that they put together, right, Grok? Like
It's not bad.
Complaints about it. Yeah.
I really don't have a lot of complaints with it other than the trigger discipline. I have much better trigger discipline than that.
I really love the picture, like the quality of the picture. It's so cool. It's so
It was really good. I was really happy with it when it came out. Like, oh yeah, we're using that. We're using that somehow, some way.
Is that the green?
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Wait, now I gotta look up Tim Walz because I think I'm blocking him out. Let's see if I can find one.
Oh, here comes the boss man. Grinch drops a new album, GWA, F the Pole Man. I think that's our winner.
All right, so we gotta do like a poll in the chat. So we gotta think of we each bring one to the poll. All right. So we each pick one. So is that the one you're picking? You gonna pick Roma's?
I'm gonna pick Roma's. I'm picking Roma's.
All right,
That's my choice.
Let me just go back up because I'm trying to remember because there was a lot of good ones. I really like
Treebeard. Treebeard had another good one too.
But I like the original one that he did. His body count grew 3 sizes that day. I thought that was hilarious.
Well,
yeah, that's the one.
Is that our 2 then?
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Okay, so there's Biddy's nomination. Here's my nomination.
All right, so you want to do the Grinch after New York environmental officials came for Max? No. Oh no. That's good. But I'm gonna stick with my pick because I really did like that one. The Tree Bear one. But this is great. I mean, you can always count on Aaron to just keep like chugging them out, man. I wish I could do that. All right, so you wanna in the chat choose. So if you want to choose option 1, that's Grinch drops a new album, GWA F the Pole Man, and drop a 2 in the chat if you want his body count grew 3 sizes that day. And we'll see who the winner is. And don't forget, I know there's something, forgive me, Roma, but I forgot what it actually, like, the thing is. Like, you want to do every week on FAFO, we'll do like a weekly winner, and then at the end of the year, whoever's the grand prize winner, we're gonna have. Oh, whoa, there you go.
No,
Yes,
Hey, what's
you
up?
you say it better than me.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a caption this each day. And each one of the hosts is gonna choose one that, or at least choose a quote that they think fits the picture best, and then the audience is gonna decide which one's the best out of the ones that the hosts pick. Then on FAFO Fridays and anything or any other shows that we do on Friday, we're gonna have like a championship round of the 4 days, and we're going to see which one is the best. The best 4 each month are going to go on to a championship round, and whoever wins that championship round is going to get some Roman Nation merch.
Yeah.
Woo!
I
It's
love
gonna be
that.
nice.
I love that. Thank you, Roma.
Allegedly.
All right. So I mean, it looks like Treebeard was number 2, right? That was his body count grew 3 sizes that day. So
Yeah, because I voted for your choice.
Aw, thank you. All right, so oh, my bad. Actually, it's the other way around. Okay, so all right, so but then I gotta fix mine because I wanted number. All right, so I'll do 1. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I'm reversing mine too. That's
My
the better
bad.
one.
It's so much easier with a poll. Hopefully, we can get
I
X to
know.
do like poll work sometime in the near future.
That's a callback. That's a callback.
Yes. If you guys want to see the callback to that, just look through Roma Nation on YouTube. See, you're just gonna have to watch all of the episodes to see when you find it. There may even be a short. It might be one of the shorts, but you might have to just watch all of them to see that because it was hysterical.
My build up to the Babylon Bee headline was also a callback.
Oh my gosh, yes. The Babylon Bee. They're so
no
amazing.
bee or not.
The bee or not. That was a great game. So I
All
guess
right, so
yeah.
Looks like Beard, you won it tonight.
Yeah. So hopefully you'll get that merch at the end of the year, bro. But thank you guys for playing with us. This is one of our favorite games. We're so happy to bring it back because we had a show called Midday Rush that's we don't have any longer, but we wanted to save this game. Brian created this. T-Bone used to help out with this immensely with his submissions of the caption. We used to have a great time with this, so I'm really happy that it's back.
I am too, but a lot of stuff happened today. The Daniel Penny acquittal was huge. It was the right thing to do. I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy for his family.
Me
but
too.
Continue to pray for him and support him and his family because they still have the civil suit down the road. And unfortunately, there's a significant portion of this country who I'm convinced are demon influenced that think that he's a bad guy, that just can't see the rightness of what he done. Also, keep in mind, these next couple months are going to be a whirlwind. We're going to be seeing news left and right about different appointees and, the mainstream media is this is bad. We can't have this person. And you're going to see rumors and innuendos. Keep your skepticals on.
Yeah.
Keep your skepticals on because, don't believe the first report of anything you see.
Right.
Things can change. The truth isn't on roller skates, but it's very hard to track down sometimes. So just don't believe what you hear all the time.
Amen. Well said. And
You know,
and that's why you said earlier that the story about the United Healthcare shooter is still developing, and we're gonna wait until tomorrow, because that's what we like to do here on Roma Nation. Is we want to really, really get to the meat of it. We want to see what's going on. We don't want to jump on things like at the moment necessarily. We want to get more information before we start talking about it. I think it's a great way to go. But yeah, if you
I
guys,
agree.
yeah, so just stay prayed up. We still have a long road ahead of us. We have a lot that has gone on over the past 4 years. A lot of indoctrination of the minds, a lot of economic distress, a lot of stuff that's happened that needs to be cleaned up, and it's not going to happen overnight. So just stay strong. We got this. Yeah. And if you want to, I don't know if you want to tell them where to find you, Brian, on X and the two.
Yeah, I'm at Get Off My Lawn. Well, actually, yeah, that's my actual Twitter handle, but I'm the Get Off My Lawn guy on Twitter. Also, BR Tidwell 55 on YouTube. Yes. If you watch the replay, hopefully Tim read my super chat. I did send him a super chat tonight before this show. So yeah, that's my social. And like most of the time, I'm behind the scenes here, helping out. I mean, not just Sunset Rants. I help out with other stuff. When AK says, "Hey Brian, can you look into something for me?" I go look into it. That's just kind of what I do around here. But anyway, thanks. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight on Sunset Rants. You'll see a different set of hosts tomorrow night. Of course, AK is always around. I'm usually lurking in the background myself, but you'll see a different group up here tomorrow night, and that's fine. We're all the same team.
Yes.
We're all the same team, same message.
Together.
So,
yeah. Come join the Discord so you can help out as well, as we said in the beginning. And if you want, you can find me on X and Instagram at Elizabethy213A. I'm also on YouTube and Rumble at Elizabethy213. And yeah, just come join the fam, because we're doing some great work here for Post-Cancel Culture Society. We really
a lot of fun on the Discord.
Yeah, we have a lot of great things coming your way for 2025. So come join now. Now's the time to join.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to ride on off into the sunset.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Bye, you guys.
Night, bye.